Hello, everyone, and this is part one of the most recent conflict on the Cazador Bedrock Geopole. Now, this realm, it's fairly new. It's been revived not that long ago, um, and it's already had its first conflict. This is part one because this conflict is still unfolding, and there will be updates for a part two. Today we'll be covering in the Ghost Sea the Battle of Rosenberg. However, or the Battle of New Rosenberg. However, for context, what happened in the events that caused this? Well, to start this off, there was a nation called the Kingdom of Stakai. Its capital being New Rosenberg. It was essentially a city-state. It didn't have any other towns or any other possessions. However, the region we are located in, called Valandia, has a massive sea in it called the Ghost Sea. You can see it on the map. It's the big old lake, right? So, on this map, that sea is called the Ghost Sea. Now, we had settled, by the way, we're the little green dot at the bottom. I'll circle it for you. The Ghost Sea. We're looking along the Ghost Sea. Now, the second time, now the one that circled up above, that one was called Halligan. Now, at first, Halligan didn't really exist at first for a while until a man named Bellows came along and settled in the region, and then for a while, for a few days, there was peace between our two little city-states. Then a small war broke out, and then what ended up happening is we just came to a peace talks instead, and we created a union. This union was called the Sikh. The nation that was created from the union was called the CKA. The CKA stands for the Council Kingdom of Almira. If you want to get real short, just Almira. So, Almira was at its heyday for about a day. However, the next day, I had stumbled upon Gamer and his crew, which made up a large part of my army at that time, had created their own city. And that was like, oh, okay. For a little while, for about 20 minutes, I thought maybe he just wanted to create his own city. And this region called Unda. No, he declared independence about 20 minutes later, and this CKA lost about 4 of its members, and it's practically its entire army. And with that, the war kicked off. Now, at first, for a few days, or about a day or so, actually, no, about 2 days, nothing happened. There was just sitting around a whole lot, no, it was a day. Sorry. It was just a day. Nothing happened. Nobody knew what to do yet. Then, the next day, it was nighttime, winding down, Minecraft for the day or whatever. And then we see cannon. Then we see Gamer's army roll up. They start placing their cannons in their towers, and we prepare for the war. Now, the cities started. Now, at first, our city wasn't really all that prepared. It was me and one other player named Chaotix versus 4 other fighters. Chaotix having the first netherite sword, or netherite anything, on the server ever. Then, our crew, I had unenchanted diamond, and he had max enchanted diamond, Chaotix. And he was pretty well equipped, and I wasn't, pretty decently equipped, sorta. Now, this battle was brutal. The first stages of the battle was shelling, which I became a victim of shelling. The cannons blasted, the firing, arrows went flying, the explosions, you could hear the explosions from the explosion shells, and technically the canister shots just riddle the city with explosions, and everyone's camping in a building or hiding in cover and structures, and then the first counter volley came in. Boom, 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 boom. Cannons just go flying, cannonballs go flying, people get blown up, and then the battle kind of calmed down after that first shelling. Just a little, just quite a bit. Just because about 3 of their troops started to storm the city. Now, these 3 troops were almost immediately pushed out by Chaotix. Me, not really so much. I mean, there's only so much I can do with basically nothing and a bunch of cannonballs. So, I load up the cannons and the cannonballs, I'm firing, trying to help Chaotix out, defending the city as much as I physically can. And after a little bit of time, I could see that the frustration started kicking in as the fighting got more and more constant. And then at one point, a few of their members had stormed the side of the wall, including a member called Jake. He specifically went for me, while the other 2 went for Chaotix. While Jake was trying to rush me, I had my cannon. My trusty cannon he took a cannonball to the face for his first shot, and then the second shot was a cannonball to the stomach. And that killed him immediately. And then I took his gear, which after that point, the battle seemed like it started to turn heavily in our favor. The more and more we kept killing them repetitively, because actually, I think I was the second or third kill of the battle, and Jake had not died before that part of the battle. Sane and Aqua, the other 2 fighters, brutally kept trying to get at Gamer. And so did Jake. Jake kind of just rushed in, and they would come to target me to try to kill me, to take back their shit, and then the fighting continued to get aggressive back and forth. But at one point, there was a TNT cannon set up at our front gate. However, they turned on this TNT cannon and rapidly just obliterated the front of our gates. There's a picture for it. Boom. A picture for it. The fighting is intense. Just action. Cannonballs were still being exchanged. Cannon fire was flying over, because Gamer kind of just came in and out of the actual melee. And then he was TPing his teammates back repetitively. The battle continued on and on and on. And then And then after the like third or fourth push that they put into the city, it just broke their offensive. And then and then we threw our own Sally, or a Sully. Basically, we just threw an offensive right out at their city gates. They tried to counter us by shelling, Gamer tried to counter us by cannon fire, just to give him enough time to TP his friends back. He did, and he was able to. Chaotic started popping some, he started popping up, I think he had normal golden apple. He started just swiping at them, just slicing them up. I'm sitting back there with my little cannon, my rinky-dink little field cannon pulled up in the front, just, loading a round after a round. Boom! Hit another guy, just ricochet, and then I pull out a canister shot, just spray 3 guys with the fucking canister, hitting everyone, including Chaotix. And the battle just continues on, but then Chaotix, we forced them onto their little siege tower where they had their cannons. That's where they were shelling our city for a large part of the battle. Chaotix had forced them up there, and then I had broke their bed, which is near the tower. Now, that didn't really matter because of all the TPing and shit, and I killed another one of their guys. Actually, I killed their guys a few times throughout this battle, but Chaotix clearly had the higher KD the entire fight. It was a brutal match, but then we ended up getting pushed back. And then we pushed again, pushed back, and then eventually Chaotix's gear gave, and it just snapped on him. And then he just got overwhelmed. I mean, it became like a 4v1 with like broken diamond gear. And then me coming back from dying for the fifth time, loaded up whatever cannon I could muster, tried to fire it at them, but that didn't work. Then I tried placing a piece of TNT and lighting it, like suicide bombing, essentially. That failed. I got killed before I could even light it. And then the battle was over, and Rosenberg fell. However, during this battle, there was parts of the battle where Jake was running around blowing random shit up with TNT, too, because out of, desperation, you could tell that the attackers were becoming frustrated throughout the entire fight. I told them to stop TPing repetitively as an admin, but that didn't really work because everyone was kind of tapped out. But the battle was a ferocious mess, and we thought it was over for Almira. We thought that was the final battle. New Rosenberg was the breaking point. No. Bellows basically said, "Fuck your shit, gamer. Fuck your shit, you fucking invaders." And he just said, "We're gonna kick out these invaders, and our town isn't surrendering." And then after that, we prepared for the next siege and brought allies, turning this into, from a regional conflict to a world war, and almost like a world war. The only empire that has stayed independent of this entire thing and has ignored this entire conflict was Buddy. And of course, she never gets on, so she's like a meme. But with one person or one nation that hasn't joined in, actually there's a few nations that haven't joined in, still, the conflict continues. And have a good day. If you're interested in joining in and building a nation, building up the lore and, building up our world, our fucking early world. We're still in the Oonga Boonga jungle phase. Welcome to the jungle. Get what I mean? Only a quarter of the world has been mapped so far. We don't even know what the world fully looks like. Have fun. Join. Have fun. Join the Discord link down below. It's in the description, by the way. So, and last but not least, like and subscribe, or I'll kick your ass. Not really. Not really. I'm a weak little noodle bean. Peace. Peace in IRL. War in Minecraft. And out.